The passive income fantasy. You've been told that the goal is to make money while you sleep. Scroll on social media and it's all courses, side hustles, drop shipping hacks, and crypto coins that promise overnight freedom. It sounds good because you hate the idea of grinding for years. But here's the truth. Real passive income is never passive at the start. It's built on years of sweat before it feels effortless. The lie here is that you can shortcut the hard part. The difference is clear. Broke men jump from one set it and forget it scheme to another, quitting when it doesn't print cash in a week. Wealthy men build one engine, refine it until it works, and then automate the parts that drain their time. Naval Ravikant explained it simply. Leverage comes from code, media, and capital, but you don't get leverage until you've created something people already value. The rich know this. They spend months building a product, a system, or intellectual property that delivers results, and only then do they sleep on it. The broke never reach that point because they quit when it's still hard. If you want out of this trap, stop chasing hacks. Pick one skill you can turn into a product. Talk to real people, find what they'll pay for, and build the smallest version of that solution. Run the test, see if anyone buys. Once it works, systemize it and outsource tasks. That's how passive income is created, not before. Believing school guarantees wealth. Society drills this lie early. Work hard in school, get a degree, and you'll be set for life. For decades, maybe that worked, but today the cost of a degree has exploded while the promise of high pay has collapsed. Men in their 20s follow this script, take on massive debt, and assume the money will follow later. But they don't see the trap until it's too late. Debt locks you down. You hesitate to start businesses, take risks, or even move cities because the monthly payments choke you. The contrast is obvious. Broke men think a diploma is a golden ticket. Rich men treat education as a tool, not a guarantee. They use it when it adds leverage. They skip it when it doesn't. The Millionaire Next Door showed that most millionaires aren't degree-chasing professionals. They're business owners who started small and grew over time. Gates and Zuckerberg didn't drop out because school was useless. They left because they had something better to build. That's the key. The system makes you think waiting until graduation is safe, but waiting often costs you the most valuable years. Here's how you beat it. If you're already in school, don't waste 4 years just attending classes. Launch side hustles, validate ideas, see if customers will pay you now. If you're considering school, demand proof. Can this degree open direct high-income opportunities? If not, maybe it's not worth the price. Education matters, but it must pay back quickly in today's world. Don't confuse learning with debt. Learn constantly, but only borrow when there's a clear path to return. Thinking saving alone will save you. You're told that if you just save hard, cut out the coffees, and stash away dollars, one day you'll be rich. This advice feels safe, but saving is only defense. Defense can't win the game without offense. The trap here is believing that defense alone creates wealth. Yes, you need to save, but if all you do is hold cash, inflation quietly eats it, and opportunities pass you by. Look at the contrast. Broke men take pride in cutting corners, always talking about how little they spent. They mistake frugality for progress. Wealthy men save, but they don't stop there. They grow their income aggressively, then put excess money into assets that compound. Morgan Housel put it bluntly, wealth is what you don't see. The car's not bought, the investment's quietly building in the background. Warren Buffett grew billions not by saving, but by letting money sit in investments for decades. The broke never start compounding because they're stuck hoarding. Here's the move. Automate a set percentage of your income straight into investments. Even if it's small, like 20%, start today. Half can go to safe index funds. The other half goes into offense. Your skills, your business, the thing that raises your earning power. At the same time, run income sprints. Build new offers, learn new skills, and raise the ceiling on what you can earn. Saving protects you, but scaling income and investing frees you. Don't confuse the two. Believing all debt is evil. Debt has a bad reputation, and for good reason. Credit cards, payday loans, lifestyle debt, it's poison that traps millions. But the lie is thinking all debt is bad. That belief keeps men broke because it blinds them to the kind of debt that builds wealth. The contrast is sharp. Broke men either avoid all debt completely, living in fear of borrowing, or they misuse it on status items that lose value instantly. Wealthy men eliminate bad debt first, then use good debt carefully to buy assets that pay them back. Robert Kiyosaki calls this the difference between bad debt and good debt. Good debt buys an asset that produces income or appreciates in value faster than the interest you pay. Dave Ramsey's advice works for broke families drowning in high-interest cards. But if you want to build wealth, eventually you have to understand leverage. Here's how it works. Bad debt is any loan over 12% interest. Kill that first. Don't touch anything else until it's gone. Once you're clear, you can use debt like a tool. A mortgage on a cash-flowing rental property. A small loan to buy a micro business that already generates steady cash. Always keep reserves. Always test small first, and never borrow for things that don't produce. Debt can destroy you or multiply you. The choice depends on how you use it. Following influencers and hype. Every day, you're fed a new hot opportunity. 1 month it's crypto, crypto, the next it's drop shipping, then it's some AI side hustle. Influencers sell you the idea that if you just follow their lead, you'll get rich fast. But here's the truth. Most of them don't make money from the thing they're teaching. They make money from teaching you. The trap is following hype instead of fundamentals. The difference is easy to see. Broke men chase trends, jump into hype with no proof, and get burned when it collapses. Wealthy men slow down and ask one question: how does this person actually make money? They copy only those who got rich by doing, not by selling advice. The FTX collapse was a perfect example. Billions followed hype without checking fundamentals. And when the house of cards fell, regular people were left holding the losses. The rich knew to stay away because they looked past the marketing and asked the hard questions. Here's how you avoid the trap. Create a 3-question filter. 1. What are this person's incentives? If they profit more from selling courses than from the thing itself, be cautious. 2. Where is the proof? Look for real businesses, tax records, audited numbers. 3. What's the downside? If you can lose everything, only risk what you can afford. This filter alone will save you years of wasted time. Over-diversifying and avoiding focus. You've been told to never put all your eggs in one basket. The safe path is to spread your money, your energy, and your time everywhere. But here's the twist. Diversification is a shield against ignorance, not a path to wealth. If you don't understand an opportunity, you spread your bets. But the rich don't get wealthy by playing safe with 10 things. They get wealthy by focusing on 1 or 2 things and driving them to scale. The contrast is clear. Broke men dabble in 10 side hustles, never mastering any of them. They're always starting something, but nothing compounds. Rich men pick one lane, commit for years, and let compounding do the work. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger hammered this point. Concentration builds wealth, diversification protects it. You can't build what you don't commit to. Here's how it works. Choose one focus for the next 12 months. Put 70% of your capital and time into it, and keep 30% for small experiments. That way you're protected, but not diluted. Track weekly deliverables to prove progress. If it doesn't work after a pivot or two, cut it, then pick a new focus. The point is simple. Wealth isn't built by trying everything. It's built by going deep on something valuable. Mindset-only thinking. Motivational posts tell you what mindset is everything. Just think rich, believe in yourself, and it will happen. The trap is mistaking belief for skill. Mindset matters, but without rare skills and repeatable systems, nothing changes. The contrast is obvious. Broke men chase endless motivation, reading quotes and feeling good, but never build a skill someone would pay for. Wealthy men use mindset as fuel, but they spend most of their time mastering skills and building systems that produce results over and over. Cal Newport calls this career capital. James Clear calls it systems over goals. Naval calls it specific knowledge. Different words, same truth. Mindset opens the door, but skills keep you inside. Here's how it works. Pick one rare skill that has market demand. It could be copywriting, sales, coding, or running ads. Block 60 minutes a day for deep practice. Build small projects to prove you can deliver. Once you have skill, create a system around it. A checklist that brings in leads, closes sales, and delivers value. Repeat it until it becomes automatic. That's how wealth is built. Not through mindset alone, but through mindset plus skill plus system. Mistaking visible wealth for real wealth. This is the most powerful trap because it looks like success. Social media shows cars, watches, vacations, designer clothes. It convinces you that if you want to be rich, you must look rich. But visible wealth is usually a mask. Real wealth is hidden. It's the money you don't spend, the investments you don't show, the freedom you don't have to prove. The contrast is sharp. Broke men flex liabilities and drain their future. Wealthy men look normal but stack assets quietly. Morgan Housel said it best, wealth is what you don't see. The Millionaire Next Door found that most millionaires live in average neighborhoods, drive used cars, and wear modest clothes. They don't need to prove anything because their wealth works silently. Here's how it works. Run a 90-day status freeze. Don't buy anything over $100 without a cooling off period. Track how much cash you keep. Do a weekly net worth check. Assets minus liabilities. Let that number, not likes, guide your pride. Reallocate half your discretionary spending into investments. Over time, you'll see your net worth grow faster than your wardrobe. That's real wealth. And it lasts. Those are the 8 money lies that keep men broke. Passive income shortcuts. Blind trust in school. Saving without offense. Fear of all debt. Following hype. Spreading too thin. Believing mindset is enough. And chasing visible wealth. If you see yourself in any of these traps, the good news is they're choices, and you can choose differently starting today. If you want to go deeper, my next video breaks down the cheat codes real investors use that nobody talks about. So subscribe so you don't miss it. And while you wait, watch the one where I reveal the daily habits that separate millionaires from everyone else.